Welcome back to another edition of Penn State Sports Night. I'm Lexy Leidlein, Jen alongside Evan Lasek. Tonight we will be highlighting all the Penn State action across this past Thanksgiving break. All right, Evan, let's step things off with Penn State men's basketball. Penn State fell to Ole Miss on the first day of the NIT season tip-off by a score of 74-72. Penn State set the tone at least for the first half of the game, leading 43-27 at intermission. The Nittany Lions' lead began to shrink in the second half as the Rebels tied the game at 72 with 27 seconds to go. Two free throws from Ole Miss pulled them ahead of Penn State with 13 seconds left in the game. Penn State couldn't buy a bucket, therefore punching its ticket to the consolation game against Syracuse. Mike Watkins muscled his way to a 27-point, 12-rebound double-double, while also tying his career high of 8 blocks. Lamar Stevens and Myron Jones also chipped in double-digit scoring performances in the losing effort. The team as a whole combined for 33 rebounds and 10 steals. The Nittany Lions went on to face Syracuse on Friday. Take it away, Evan.
Penn State beat Syracuse on the final day of the NIT Invitational by a score of 85-64. Penn State was in command for the entirety of the game, with Syracuse only being able to bring it within one possession game a handful of times. Forward Lamar Stevens finished with 20 points on 6 for 12 shooting, while Mike Watkins racked up another double-double on 15 points and 16 rebounds. The Nittany Lions are now 6-1 on the year and play Wake Forest on Wednesday in the annual ACC Big Ten Challenge. The Penn State women's volleyball team fell 3-1 against the Minnesota Golden Gophers this past Saturday night. The loss breaks the tie for first in the conference, making Wisconsin the sole champions of the Big Ten. Despite the loss, sophomore setter Gabby Blossom showed out, leading the match with 50 assists. The Nittany Lions enter the postseason 24-5 and are ranked number 11 entering the tournament play. They will host the Ivy League champion Princeton on Friday at Rec Hall.
Even though they lost, I still think they can make a run in the tournament. Now let's transition into men's hockey, who just split their Thanksgiving series against Ohio State while breaking even against Merrimack College and UMass Lowell. The Nittany Lions started off their break strong by skating by Ohio State in the first game with a final score of 5-4. However, they were unable to sweep the Buckeyes, losing the second game 3-4. Over the weekend, the Nittany Lions headed back north to the Bay State to battle Merrimack College and the University of Massachusetts at Lowell. The Nittany Lions left Merrimack with an ice tutty, with the final score being 7-0. Senior captain Liam Folks had a hat trick, and backup goalie Oscar Audio had his first career shutout. Penn State just barely made it into overtime against UMass Lowell due to a power play goal by senior Nate Soucies with just 23 seconds remaining in regulation. The Nittany Lions were unable to pull through, losing the game 3-2 in overtime. The team is now 11-4 in the season and will face against Michigan, the Wolverines, at Ann Arbor this Saturday and Friday.
Well, Lexi, Penn State is looking at a New Year's Six Bowl after finishing the season 10-2 with losses to Minnesota and, of course, Ohio State. Even with those two blemishes on their record, the Nittany Lions have their eyes set on playing in the coveted Rose Bowl game. Will Levis started his first career game during Penn State Senior Day against Rutgers this Saturday. Levis helped Penn State to the 27-6 victory, but his performance left much to be desired. The numbers were not pretty for the redshirt freshman, only throwing for 81 yards, with the majority coming from a 44-yard touchdown heave to Jahan Dotson. Journey Brown carried the load, literally, totaling 103 yards and 3 touchdowns on the ground. Levis appeared to be the second running back on this team, as he added another 108 yards on 17 carries. Pat Freirmuth dropped a bomb after the game, announcing his return for his junior year, despite being eligible to declare for the NFL draft. This obviously is huge news, as he established himself as a go-to weapon for the Nittany Lions this season. Freirmuth may have ended speculation for this season, but the rumors are heating up for head coach James Franklin. Florida State has a coaching vacancy with Franklin's name on it. He so chooses to pack his bags and head to Tallahassee. The Seminoles football team is in shambles after Jimbo Fisher chucked up the deuces and headed to College Station. With the ACC looking like a joke, perhaps Franklin will be intrigued in taking down the juggernaut that is Clemson. Time will tell if this speculation holds any weight and if Penn State will be in the market for a new coach. So Lexi, what are you looking for in this week in sports?
I'm looking forward to the Oklahoma-Baylor game. You know, it's the Big 12 Conference Championship game this Saturday, December 7th. You know, Baylor lost to Oklahoma 34-31, so I think Baylor's coming back to look for some revenge, you know. What are you looking forward to in sports this week?
I'm definitely looking forward to the Georgia-LSU game. Georgia, this is a must-win for them if they plan on making the playoffs. LSU, they're going to have their hands full with a tough Georgia team, but it's LSU. We saw what they could do against Alabama, and I don't think there's going to be any upset there. I think LSU's got this, but you never know with the playoffs. But that is our Penn State Sports Night update. For Lexy Leidlein, I am Evan Lasek. Thank you for watching.
Thank you for watching our latest edition of Penn State Sports Night. If you're a fan of our content, please be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more clips. Also follow us on Twitter at PSSNTV and on Instagram at PSU Sports Night to keep up with the action. For all my colleagues, we are Penn State Sports Night.